Dear children, welcome to EduSat teleteaching program. Today, we shall learn a poem Bilesang by Sarojini Naidu. Let us see how the poem is very interesting. Before going to the poem, let us know some of the important or brief notes of the poet Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad on 13th February 1879. She passed away in the year 1949. She was a prolific writer, a poet and a freedom fighter. She was the first Indian woman who became the president of the Indian National Congress. She was the first woman governor of Uttar Pradesh. She is known as the Nightingale of India. Now, before reading out the stanzas, let us know the theme of the poem. The poem depicts or describes a young girl's indifferent attitude towards married life and her yearning for nature. It is a conversation between mother and a daughter. The mother tries to pursue the daughter to accept traditional married life and motherhood, which is full of joys and merriments. But what happened? And with material positions, but the daughter is not ready to accept that. However, the daughter is inclined towards nature and thinks that she will get more pleasure in the lap of nature. This is the theme of the poem. Now, we will read out the poem part 1. Honey child, whither are you going? Would you cast your jewels all through the breezes blowing? Would you leave the mother who on golden grain has fed you? Would you grieve the lover who is riding forth to wed you? Mother mine, to the wild forest I am going, where upon the champa boughs the champa buds are blowing. To the quail hunted river isles, where lotus lilies glisten, the voices of the fairy folk are calling me, oh listen. So, how sweet the poem is. Now, let us see the word meaning of the poem. Honey child, out of affection, mother is calling her daughter as honey child. Cast means throw away. Breeze, a very comfortable cooling wind. But here all through the breezes blowing means there is a festive atmosphere at the time of wedding, that is wedding atmosphere. All are busy enjoying their life on that occasion. So, breeze is just like a metaphor used for the pleasurable moments, the festivity of that house, the happy moments of the environments. Now, golden grain, that means the mother always prepares delicious food according to the choice of the daughter, that is golden grain. Grieve means to feel grief or sorrow. Whereupon, at which point? There. Champa boughs, branches of champa trees. Quail hunted, the place frequently visited by quail, a singing Indian bird, that is called cuckoo. River isles, small islands in the river. Now, the gist, the meaning of the stanza 1. The poem highlights a scene of rural household, where the mother is convincing her daughter not to leave the house in the occasion of wedding, foregoing the bridal arrangements, forgoing the bridal ornaments and mother's love, affection and sacrifice. The girl on the other hand shows no interest towards material bond, that is married life, and ready to avoid the bridegroom. Now, come to the second stanza. The girl claims that she is going to the forest where she can enjoy champa trees laden with champa buds and flowers. The river flowing beside the forest has many small islands where quail haunts. The shining color of lotus and lilies along with fairy folks are calling her. So, this is the meaning of stanza 1 and 2. Now, in one side the mother is trying to convince the daughter to accept the married life and social life, whereas the daughter on the other hand not interested. She wants to go to the forest for peace and pleasure. This is the two things, contrasting things we find in the stanza 1 and stanza 2. Now, children, we will see some of the important multiple choice questions in that part 1. The poem village song is a dash. So, the answer is, there are 4 answers: folk poetry, nature song, traditional poem, lullaby. Now, the answer is folk poetry. Sarojini Naidu was the first Indian woman who became the governor of dash. The answer is Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. The right answer is Uttar Pradesh. Third, Sarojini Naidu is popularly known as the dash, Cuckoo of India, freedom fighter, Nightingale of India, none. Nightingale of India is the right answer. Why does the mother call her daughter honey child? Why does the mother call her daughter a honey child? That is, there are 4 choices. The two deceived are going to the forest. The poem village song appeared in her book folk poetry out of love and affection. So, the right answer is out of love and affection. What does the golden grain mean in the line? Would you leave the mother who on golden grain has fed you? In this line, golden grain means what? Delicate dishes, golden ornaments, golden plates, all the above. The right answer is delicate dishes. The honey child wants to go to dash, forest, wild forest, fairy folk, the quail hunted islands, that is wild forest. Quail hunted means dash, the place where birds live permanently, the place frequently visited by quail, the place where the bird sings, all the above. The right answer is the place frequently visited by quail. Now, who are calling to the honey child? Wild forest, the fairy folk, the voices of fairy folk, quail hunted island of the river. The right answer is voices of fairy folk. Now, let us discuss some of the important questions, comprehension questions that will come in your exam, and each question will carry 5 marks, right. So, the first question is, why should the girl leave the mother and grieve the lover? Why should the girl leave the mother and grieve the lover? That means, the mother always wants her daughter to see in bridal attire, and this is a very important stage of life. So, mother is always interested to see the daughter married life, but the social problem may be or any cause relating to the her age or the traditional way of life of the society is not helping the girl to accept the marriage life easily. That is why she is very reluctant, she is not interested to take the botheration of wedding life. Rather, she is very much interested to go to the forest, where she can enjoy the champa flowers, she can hear the sweet music of the koel, and she can see the nature song through the flowing of the river Ails. Other things are also very attractive for the girls in the forest instead of the house. That is why she is not at all interested to accept mother's proposal of marriage, and even she is ready to betray the lover or bridegroom who was coming to get her married. That is why the mother is trying her best to convince the girl that you should not leave the house, you should not throw away the ornaments outside, because it is the marriage atmosphere. All the friends and relatives are waiting to enjoy the marriage. The lover, the bridegroom is also coming, but the girl is not at all ready to hear mother, though she loves her mother very deeply, and in a very convincing manner she says, mother mine, I am going to the forest, all the things trying to convince her mother, and she has never accepted the life of marriage and become a part of social life and attain her motherhood. And the second question, what does the child describe in the forest? So, this is the exclusively when she has decided to leave the home and go to the forest. Why she has decided to go to the forest, leaving the love, affection, sacrifice of her mother, leaving the all arrangements, the festive things at home and the ornaments, the sweet soothing atmosphere of wedding ceremony at home, everything is bitter to her. Why she is going to forest? Because the nature is very attractive, she feels that she will get the real pleasure, real peace and real enjoyment in that forest life, where the trees are laden with, the champa trees are laden with champa flowers, the sweet smell of the champa flower will refresh her mind, give peace to her mind, and she can see the river Ails and the singing of the bird, the cuckoo bird will be a major attraction for her, and at the same time the fairy folks are there, they are also singing and calling her, but there is no artificial thing there, all these things are natural, and she can get more pleasure, more attraction than the family life, the married life. That is why she is determined to go to the forest and lead a very peaceful and enjoyable life. She does not find pleasure by accepting the social life and by attending the motherhood. That is why she has decided to leave mother and her lover and pass her rest part of life in the forest, so that she can get peace and pleasure in that part of life. Now, children, this is all about the two stanzas, that is called part 1 of the poem. Then in the next class we will decide and discuss about the second part, that is all about two stanzas, the rest of the poem we will discuss. Okay, children, I think all of you have understood the poem, and to refresh your mind, once again I want to discuss the poem with you, starting from the brief notes of the poet to the theme and paraphrase or meaning of the paragraphs and the question answer including MCA. Now, you see, we will again go to the brief notes of the poet, that is, we will know about some of the important information of the poet. Now, you see, Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad on 13 February 1879. She was died or passed away in the year 1949. She was a prolific writer, a poet and freedom fighter. She was the first Indian woman who became the President of Indian National Congress. She was the first woman governor of Uttar Pradesh. She is known as the Nightingale of India. You might have heard about Sarojini Naidu. So, what is the basic ideas or theme of the poem, on basis of which you can guess the entire poem, entire setting of the poem and entire beginning and end of the poem, entire things from beginning to end. Now, let us see the theme. The poem describes or highlights a young girl's indifferent attitude towards marriage life and her yearning, her deep desire, her emotional attachment towards nature. Then it is a conversation between a mother and a young girl. The mother is trying to pursue the daughter to accept married life and attain motherhood, but the girl on the other hand is not ready. Mother says that the marriage life is full of joys, merriments, and there are some sweet moments of life ornamented with material possessions. There is lullabies and there is wedding songs and number of enjoyable things are available as a bride, but the material things do not attract the daughter. She sacrifices all the things and is inclined towards the nature. However, the daughter's decision to leave the home is final and she expresses her deep desire to go to the forest and leave her mother, even the lover, the bridegroom, he is riding for to marry her. So, this is a strong decision of the girl. Now, again let us read out the poem, just you follow me. Honey child, whither are you going? Would you cast your jewels all to the breeze blowing? Cast means throw, jewels all to the breezes blowing. That is breeze, you know, very cooling, comfortable air, but here it is a metaphor. So, why should she throw away the jewels. That means, the mother shows her that the atmosphere is so sweet, the home atmosphere is very sweet, all the friends and relatives have come and they are ready to welcome the bridegroom, and all are enjoying the life, waiting for the important moments of the life, but at the nick of the moment the girl is not interested. That is why the mother says, would you throw away the jewels to the breezes. Here breezes means the marriage atmosphere. Would you leave the mother? The mother has very affectionately brought her up. So, how can a daughter leave the mother? So, mother questions her, but the daughter is however not ready. She tries her best to convince the mother that mother, she would never get peace and joy in the married life, social life, due to certain reasons. She may not have attended the marriageable age, because this was the traditional conventional social life of the Indian village, rural areas. So, usually the girl children are getting married at an early age. That may be the cause of the refusal of that girl, and another reason may be the Indian traditional marriage was very costly sometimes, the dowry system was there. So, that may be a reason for the girl's indifferent attitude. So, whatever the reason may be, the final decision of the girl was not to accept the marriage life and attend the motherhood, because she will never get peace in that type of life. That is why she is interested to go to the forest and enjoy the life. And these are the word meaning. You should know about the meaning thoroughly, so that you will vocabulary language skill will be enhanced, and you will be able to answer the MC questions as well as long questions. So, honey child means, why does the mother call the child as honey child? Out of affection, out of love. It is a sweet name usually used by mother. So, honey child means out of affection, mother was calling her honey child. Cast means throw away. Breeze, I have already discussed the marriage atmosphere of home. Golden grain, delicious food. Grief, to feel grief or sorrow. Who will feel grief or sorrow? The bridegroom, because he was coming with a great hope to get married, but the girl is not at all ready to accept the bridegroom. Before his arrival, she would go to the forest for peace and pleasure. The forest, where the forest is more attractive than the married life for the girl. Champa boughs, you know, champa flower, you know. So, the in forest she will find the champa trees laden with champa flowers. The atmosphere very sweet, she can enjoy there. There is nothing artificial set up, there is nothing unnatural things or false pleasure, false enjoyment. All that she will enjoy is completely natural. There is no pretension, there is no illusion. She will enjoy what she really see there, and she will hear the flowing sound of the river along with the islands where the singing bird cuckoo is frequently coming and singing. So, this is a major attraction for the girl, and she feels that she would get peace and pleasure there, but not at household life. That is all about the first part of the poem. Thank you.